Good evening, everybody, and welcome, Domingos.
Yes.
So let's make sure at the end of the lecture, we talk a little bit with Domingos and, just give him a big hug, or anybody else that is new. My name is Claudia, and I'm gonna talk about the March, and the book is Our Daily Bread. I thought it was I think it's hard to follow when it's a long message, but I don't know if that's my issue. But anyway, so it's the message number 20. Oh, there we go. So here's the agenda for our reflection tonight. We don't need to memorize, but I'm going to start with a video and just make sure everybody's awake. Do we need to, are you good following directions?
Yes.
Good?
Okay.
Okay, let's check. So let's double check. Okay, so let me find first, because I open another window to do it. Yes. Okay, you need to follow exactly the directions it's giving. So the goal is to count how many balls the people with the white clothes, how many they're going to toss. Domingos, do you want me to translate for you? You got it? No? Okay. If you have any questions, Bruno next to you, he can help you. Bruno. All right. Ready?
This is an awareness test.
Okay.
How many passes does the team in white make?
Team in white. You counting?
The answer is 13.
Is it 13?
No.
But did you see the moonwalking bear?
Did you?
No, I think
Did you see it? The gorilla before?
no.
No? It's hard to see because it's, I think the light. I think it's okay, unless you want to see it again, but I think it's okay.
Now we saw it.
So how many did you count?
10. I counted
10? Okay. Okay, so let me see for this not to start playing anything here. Okay.
So just let you know the crowd can hear you well.
You can?
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Because it's so hard because I think here we just in front of the light and the screen. Anyway. So one thing that I like this video because at the end they say this: it's not easy to find something we are not looking for. What do you think?
Yeah. Yes.
So if I had said, look for the moonwalking bear, you would not even bother counting the balls, correct? But he says counting how many balls the white team is passing. So then we only focus on the white team with the ball, correct? So you can have a bear. I saw another one. There was a gorilla doing this, but I couldn't see the gorilla. I only saw it the second time, so it's very interesting. So this, there's a relationship with self-knowledge, and it's not easy to find if you're not looking for it. If we're just running around, working, going to school, taking care of our kids, and doing everything, what else? How is our self-knowledge? We don't have time, correct, to even look for, or to even ask ourselves, how are we doing? So the March, this is one of the things in the book. Can someone read for us? One of the nice boys, very loud. Bruno, yeah, thank you, Bruno.
The march. It is always important to move ahead steadily in search of a definitive spiritual edification. It is indispensable to march, overcoming obstacles and shadows, transforming all the pain and anguish into ascending steps.
Okay. So it's always important to move ahead steadily in search of a definite spiritual edification. It is indispensable to march, to keep going, huh? Overcoming obstacles and shadows, everything that comes to our way, huh? Transforming all the pain and anguish into ascending steps. Are we going to have any pain during our lives? Mm-hmm. Most likely, huh? Okay, so this is eye test now. So before was coordination, see if you can, count. And now is an eye test. What can you see? Iceberg. What is the percentage of the iceberg that you can see above the water?
14.7.
Perfect. 14.7. I'll take it. Very good. What about here on the water?
85.9.
Very good. Very good. So, Joanna de Angelis, she talks about Carl Jung, and he is a psychiatrist, and he founded the analytical psychology, and he has a theory. So Joanna de Angelis talks a little bit about it. His theory compares our mind with an iceberg. Here is. Bruno was very good. You said 14%, is around 10% that we can see, and 90% of what we cannot, comparing to our mind. So the conscious mind is only 10%. So it's our willpower, short-term memory, logical thinking, critical thinking, etc. And everything here is the subconscious mind that we don't see it. Sometimes we don't want to see it, but it's there.
That's the better way to put it.
Yeah, it is there. So our beliefs, our emotions, habits, values, protective reactions, long-term memory, imagination, intuition, everything is here. Look at that. So the question is, who are we? And how do we see ourselves? You see, this is so interesting. What is this?
A kitty.
Kitty. And what is he seeing in the mirror? A lion. And there is a story, I was listening to this lecture with Haroldo Dutra, and he says this wise man was with a student. And the wise man said, you see, we are like, we have inside us like two dogs. One dog is very calm, very gentle, very nice, very friendly. The other dog is very aggressive, and he's always, barking, and he's anxious also. He has the anxiety issues, you far from him and he's barking. So he has all these issues, and they're always fighting. So the student asked, if they're always fighting, who is going to win? What do you think? Who is going to win? The one that barks all the time and is aggressive, agitated, or the one that's calm, nice? Who will win? The one who feeds the most. The one that you feed the most. Exactly. You heard that?
They're wolves.
Yeah, well. So the one that you feed the most. Who feeds the most?
We.
Not our neighbor, our husband, our kids, we. And when we ask, who are we? Who are we? So if I ask you, so I'm in a party and I meet Bruno. Oh, sorry. Messenger. Just click OK. Just click OK. All right. So if I meet Gustavo in a party, and I ask him, so who are you? What would you say? Yeah, you can say that's a good answer. In a party, I'll think about it. Oh, I am an engineer, or I'm a teacher. I am a mother. I am, I don't know. I take care of my kids. I have a daycare. But is it really who we are? Or is what we do? So the question is not what we are doing. What do you do? Or what do you work? Where do you work? But who we are. And many times we kind of mix what we do with who we are. So what happens if I work for this company for 40 years and I retire in this company and I don't have that position anymore? And if we ask that person, who is that person? You might say, oh, I don't even know anymore because I was 40 years in that company and all I knew was that. So I thought I was the employee from that company. But actually we are way more. We are created by God, sons and daughters of God, and we are immortal spirits living where? In the material world. And there is a book that I thought I can show to you. It's in Portuguese. It says Self-Discovery. It's from Divaldo Franco by Joanna. And the name of the message is Recycle the Subconscious. Remember the subconscious? Mm-hmm. Was it the bigger or the smaller part that we can see? The bigger one. So Joanna Angelis says, the tendency to keep things is innate in the human creature. What is that? We have this tendency to keep things. You know, like the article that one day you might read it. Keep it. There are magazines that has an amazing recipe that you tried 20 years ago. You might need it, right? Not maybe today because then you can look online and find it. We collect things, you know, shoes or clothes that one day we might wear. Or articles, like you see this one is kind of yellow, that is old. So we collect things. And at one point, this is all the message. We need to clean and organize what is outside, our garage, our closet, our house, our kitchen. And this gesture represents a form of liberation, of detachment from what we accumulated and have no value anymore. So those pants or shirts or whatever that you think you're gonna wear one day, you know, like the other day, my mother was making fun of me because I have this, you know, sweater that I really like. It's so cute, but I realized I have for so many years, and guess what? It's still there and never wore. So now it's gone. But it's interesting how, you know, we tend to keep it. So Joanna Johnson says, at one point we need to clean and organize. This is our house, or our garage, or our closet. But she also talks about, what is this word? Periodically. Clean the deposits of our subconscious to help our inner reform. Removing the psychic debris is critical to a healthy existence. Can anybody tell me what is that? What is that? What is she doing here, this lady? She's cleaning, you know, so she's cleaning. And what got my attention here was this word. Because when we think about inner reform, when we think about self-knowledge, it's maybe something that is once, you know, it's like you go to do a cleaning at the dentist. Oh, you do every, you know, whatever, twice a year, how many times you do it, or an exam, an annual exam, so you do once in a while. But Joanna Johnson says, no, you need to always do it. Always review our actions, or always review what we are doing. You know why? Because, you know, when you're in your closet, I know nobody does this here, I'm sure. You know, when you get home and you take off your clothes and you're tired, you just put over there somewhere. And then next day, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, you just put over there. And then at the end of the week, they have a pile, or hopefully it's in the laundry, right? So it's harder to organize, correct? And then you look at your clothes, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to clean, I need to organize everything. It's harder if you don't do it often. The same thing with the inner reform. Because if we don't do it often, we might have reactions that we don't even know we have, or feelings that we don't even know that we have. So something happens, we have a certain situation, and all of a sudden we just burst into anger or sadness or whatever is the feeling. And we ask ourselves, why should I do that? Oh, didn't even know what was happening with us. Huh? Maybe that feeling was already there, but we just ignored. Just ignored. Like the clothes that you put in the dresser and you don't clean. So at one point it will burst. Huh? So Bruno knows what is the number of this question in the Spirit's book. You don't know? Bruno, what is the most effective method for guaranteed self-improvement and resisting the attraction of wrongdoing? Question 919. So the answer is know thyself. Is it know your neighbor? Know our husbands, our boyfriends, girlfriends? No, it's ourselves. But for us, it's so much easier to know the other person. You know, bring a kid or someone, you know, the kid's neighbor in our house for 2 hours. I can guarantee you tell everything about that kid in 2 hours. Oh yeah, he's like this, and he was so excited, and he's, you know, he likes to play with this toy, and because we can observe. So it's easier to observe outside others than ourselves. So the most effective method for guaranteeing self-improvement and resisting the attraction of wrongdoing is knowing ourselves. And we talked about that, who we are. So yeah, we just talked about it. So it's not what we do for a living, but it's way more, you know, within ourselves. So Joanna de Angelis says, it's so interesting how it's different books, then you find the same thing with different words. We should study ourselves when? Constantly. It's not once a year, it's not every 10 years, like, I don't know, colonoscopy. No, that you do only after a certain age. No, it's all the time. And because this way we know if you are unsure, if you're lost, if you're confused, what are we feeling? This is a sentence from Emmanuel. He says, no one progress without renewal. No one. You cannot escape. Now, I'm going to just give you, let me just show you the book. It's a book from Alivio. Now, this is a Chicago book that I need to return.
Mary Poppins.
Huh?
Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't bring it. Okay. So it's the name of the book is Sublime Prayer of Francis of Assisi. I'm just gonna give it's like a small, like 1% of what he says in the book because it's very deep, very complex. But just for us tonight, he gives some steps for inner reform, and they have this acronym. It's important. It's PARDA. So P for perception, acceptance, reflection, decision, and action. So when you're talking about inner reform and get to know ourselves, you know, follow those steps. So, okay. And when we talk about feelings and behavior, Haroldo Dutra says, if you don't know if what you're feeling is right or what you think is right, imagine if everybody in your neighborhood, in the city, in the country are doing, thinking the same. So let's talk about the feelings. First one is perception. Easier to see on others, correct? How do we have a perception without judgment? Many times, I perceive something, oh yeah, I'm feeling, I don't know, so insecure. And then we have an excuse. Oh, we are good. Finding, oh, the reason why I'm feeling this way is because of X, Y, and Z. And many times you feel guilty. And then you feel guilty, oh yeah, that day I was jealous. When you feel guilty, then that's it, it's over. Because then you don't go beyond that. Because we find the excuse. So we need to be able to see what are we feeling, what is the name of the feeling. Try not to judge if it was right or if it was wrong. So no judgment. It's just a feeling. I'm angry. Like Givaldo says, no, if you're spiritist, don't get angry. Yeah, and then Givaldo says, yes, you do. The problem or the question is not the anger, is how you will react when you're angry. Right? And then looking at yourselves, how do we get to the perception? By looking at ourselves and seeing how do we behave. And asking, what do I feel? Bless you. The next one is acceptance. Accept what we are feeling. Many times we get into denial. Like I don't know, what is a feeling that is common? Angry. Very angry. But then you say, no, actually I'm not. We don't accept. Yes, I am. And it's fine. It's okay. So just work on that feeling. Yeah? And then the trap is the pride. Oh, I'm angry because I don't think it's fair that he has, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, and I don't. So here is the trap. So we need to have humility to accept our limitations. But acceptance is not accommodation. Oh yeah, I'm envy. I was born envy. I'm always going to be envy. Is that how it works? No, if you know you're envy, we need to do something about it, right? So acceptance. The other one is reflection. Reflection. What is reflection? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about reflection?
Something that comes back.
Something that comes back?
Reflection, like the sun reflects in the water.
Yeah, true. Or thinking about like mental traffic. How many thoughts we have per minute? A lot. How many thoughts we have per day? A lot. So what do we do with all these thoughts? And with the thoughts comes what? The feelings. I think about him having a very fancy, nice car, and I don't have it, for instance. It's not the case. I'm just giving an example. And then how I feel. So there is this mental traffic, all these thoughts in our minds. So in this book, they say, in this step, we need to be able to answer this question. What actions can I take to change the feelings that prevent me from becoming more self-conscious and balanced? What can I do? And then the other one, is this the last one? No, it's the one before. Is a decision. The decision about changing the feelings. The biggest trap is the one that we all go through. I can guarantee you. Like the day that you thought, oh, I am going, I don't know, I need to go on a diet, or I'm going to the gym. I'm going to start going to the gym. And then we find this date. One day I will start. Can you tell me where in April says one day? Is it there in the calendar? But for us, it's a new day. We always have one day, oh, next week. Next week is like, but we don't say when. So then, it keeps going the following week. So, and it's always the next Monday. Exactly. So one day is not in the calendar. And then in this point, you can try to use a little bit of gratitude. I was listening to the radio this morning, and they were talking about this lady. She was explaining about her dad who is going to have a hip replacement. And he was kind of anxious before, it was the day before the surgery. And she told him, oh, wow, you're not going to have, because the dad has a lot of pain. And she said, oh, you're not going to have this cranky hips anymore. And he was like, what do you mean? You know what I did with those hips? I carried you, I biked, I walked in New York, I walked you down the aisle. I did so many things. I'm so grateful for my hips. And then the daughter, her reflection was like, wow, here I am, judging, saying that this is not good for you, be glad that you're not going to have it. And he was so grateful. So for us, it's being grateful for what we have also. Not only our jobs and our family, but everything that we have. Okay. The action. So if I go to the doctor and I have a sinus infection and the doctor gives me antibiotic, that amazing 2 times a day, 10 days antibiotic. Who needs to take antibiotic? You sure? It's us. So at this point, the action is us. The thing is, many times you think it's the others. The others need to change. Oh, you change for me. No, we change. But we are not able to change the others. Does it make sense? So the change is for us. We need to, go and take the medication. So balance is key. What do we do to keep ourselves balanced? And I don't know if you ever try to do meditation. It's one of the things that can help us also. Just try deep breathing meditation, or 5 minutes, 10 minutes is really helpful to stop that mental traffic, to come down, to find out what are we feeling. And also, what is this? Prayer. I was watching a movie, and it's so interesting because for this person in the movie was on a habit to pray, and she starts the prayer saying, oh, I'm a big fan of yours. I thought it was so interesting. So whatever way it works, but she was so not in a habit, she thought, oh, it's like talking to someone, I'm a big fan of yours. So let's start a conversation here. In St. Augustine, we have this in the Gospel according to Spiritism. So every night he would check his conscience, review everything that he did, recall his actions, if it was wrong or for not. And the secret is formulate clear and precise questions. How did I do? Did I hurt anybody with what I did or what I said? I was going to do this exercise, but I don't know if I have enough time. It's 8 or 7. Because we started a little after, I guess. And the message was long. How many minutes do I have?
I think we started at 7:36.
Okay.
How long is it?
I'll say 3 minutes.
Okay.
You do it? Okay. So I need your help. Just I'll try to be quick. But this is one exercise. It's not mediumnic. It's not to talk to the spirits. It's just to close your eyes and relax a little bit. So if you don't mind, putting whatever you have in your lap on the floor and sitting in a comfortable position. Try not to sleep too much. Try to be awake. So just take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your hands. And let's try to connect with ourselves. Look inside ourselves. Imagining like a big mirror that we can see ourselves. What do we see? Let's now look to some negative feelings that we are having. What is that? Is it a fear, guilty, anger, impatience? What is the name of the feeling that we have that is bothering us? Which situation this feeling comes up? This feeling that bothers us comes around others, when I'm with others, or by myself. Let's try to look at that feeling now with love, compassion, acceptance. Accepting that feeling might not be good, but that's the feeling that you're having. Let's imagine now this feeling going inside a box. So you're going to close this box, and then you're going to give this box to Jesus, and just throw it in his hands now. Say, please help me understand, accept, and change this negative feeling for love. Let's take another deep breath. And slowly open our eyes. So we should try to do this often, like Joanna says, to see what is inside, what is bothering us, and what is making us happy. We are going to have the fasting, the reading right now, and we're going to ask you, if you don't mind, to just sit down, relax. Try not to go to your phone or talk with your neighbor. Just try to be within yourself.